let's look at a cone. So if we're doing a cone, oh, my cones today are just horrible. Okay, cone with radius r, height h. So if it's area of the base, 1/3 area of the base times height, what's the area of the base? What formula would you use? Pi r squared times h. So that's why the volume for 1/3 pi r squared times h. That's the volume formula. A cylinder then, volume formula, if it's a prism, area of the base times height, what would the formula be? So what would be what's the area of the base? Pi r squared times height. Yeah, really? Yeah? Times? Yeah, so you could either find this out and then divide everything by 3, divide your answer by 3, or do 1/3, 1 divided by 3 times pi times r squared times h. Yeah, do that. It could be. In high school mathematics, we try to, we like to avoid, we like to keep multiplication as much as possible. Okay, a right prism. So again, area of the base times height. This is one we did earlier, drew on the board. Okay, oh. So what would be the formula? Length times width times height. Area of the base, length times width times its height. Okay, so then if we take the same shape, now I love volume. It is so much easier, right, than surface area. It's a million times easier. It really is. Now, for volume, we need vertical height always. So if they give us our slant height, what will we have to do? Pythagorean theorem, yeah. So again, if this is a pyramid, the volume is 1/3 area of the base, length times width, and then times the height. Okay, now are these all on your formula sheet? Yeah, and on the other side here is volume. Okay, see area of the base times height. Okay, back to what page? The notes? There you go. Okay, so I'd like you to find the volume of the following two shapes. And maybe you should get in the habit of formula, substitution, answer. So write your formula, substitute your units or the numbers, and then your answer. You okay back there? Want to record this? Okay. Do you want the microphone? Where's your work? I need to show you your work. So formula, substitution. So length is? Sure. 8 times 5. What's your units? Centimeters cubed. So we're dealing with volume now. Does somebody want to solve the next one? Okay, Maddie, make sure to show formula, substitution, answer. Oh, Taylor, I'm your sister. Yes, you actually do. Are you? You are too. Okay. Do you need so volume is pi r squared h. Okay, so you should show your formula. V equals, or you could just go equals. Okay, pi. Radius is what? 1 squared times 5. What do you get on that one? 15.7? Okay, and units? Meters cubed. Okay, I have a question for you. What if this rectangular prism was changed into a pyramid? How could I quickly get my volume? Yeah, pardon. Multiply by 1/3 or divide by 3. What's 240 divided by 3? 80. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 80. So it would be, if it was a pyramid, it would be 80 centimeters cubed. What if this was a cone? Same dimensions. Same dimensions about a cone. Divide by 3 or multiply by 1/3. Okay, so divide that by 3, which is 5 point what? 5.3? 23? Oh, 4.2. 4.23? Divide by 3, yeah. Okay. So it's, if it was a pyramid, it's always 1/3 the amount. You can divide it by 3. So a cone is the pyramid version of a cylinder. Okay? All right, turn the page. All right, let's look at this shape. So what's happening here is, if you look at this, this is a pipe. The inside is hollow. Okay? The inside is hollow. You guys heard me back there, Hayden?
Yeah, the inside's hollow.
Okay, thank you. Calculate the total volume of the pipe shown at the right. The pipe is 0.5 centimeters thick. So the thickness of the pipe here on each side is 0.5 centimeters thick. So how could you find the volume of pipe needed? Yeah, Rebecca? Okay. So large minus small. Oops. Okay, good. So if we want the large volume, okay, the large cylinder, it's a cylinder. Formula is pi r squared times h. So what would be the radius of the large cylinder? No, that's diameter. 5.5 squared times height is 15. So that gives us, let's type this in, okay, 1425.5 for now. Centimeters cubed. Well, you're just looking for this part. It's hollow inside. The pipe is this part here. So that metal part, that's what I'm looking for the volume of. Not including the inside. No, we just want the blue, the actual pipe part. Okay? So it's kind of like if I asked you to find the volume. Imagine this is thicker, right? And we want of the plastic part. So large minus this small. Yeah? Doesn't matter. No. Joel? Okay. Let's just finish this guy, okay? So now we have to do the small. So what would be the radius of the small? Yes. Okay. So that would give you a diameter of 10. So half of that would be 5 times 15. Okay, so How can I type this in really quickly without typing it all again? What could I push? Second, enter, and I can go back and just delete the 0.5. I don't have to type it all again. Okay, now I wrote down a rounded answer, but are we going to use the rounded answer when we're actually subtracting? No. We use our exacts. Okay, so using our exacts, I'm going to 1425.497667 minus, I don't want to type this guy in, so I can go second, negative. Okay, to the nearest tenth, 247 point. Now, could you have actually typed this in all at once? Yes. Yes. So if you wanted to do the subtraction, we could have actually done this all at once. We could have gone pi times our large radius squared times height minus pi times small radius times height. Thank you. Yeah, pi r squared height minus pi r squared height. Same thing. Well, they're volume large minus volume small, because pi r squared h is the volume. Okay. All right, we're going to skip number 3. Let's go to number 4. Everyone have this down. If you'd like to work on number 3, you're welcome to. If you already did, you should have had 198.6. Okay, so for number 3? No? Okay, let's look at number 4. Can I go down? Everyone's okay with that? Okay, and then we're done for today. We have lots of homework time. Okay, a cone has a height of, so what are we drawing? Right away, let's just draw a cone. This is a better cone. I was struggling earlier today. Okay, has a height. So what did they give us? Which height? Okay, guys, there's a lot of talking going on. So we have vertical height they give us. They just say height, they're talking vertical height, 8 meters. And a volume of 3,000. Sorry, 300 meters cubed. Determine the radius. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 ways to solve this. Okay, one using just algebra and one using minimal algebra. So the first thing, they give me volume, meaning I need to write down the formula for volume. So what's the formula for volume of a cone? One-third squared, pi r squared times height. Okay, so then we're going to start by, no matter what method you use, you have to sub in what you know. So do we know volume? Yeah, so 300 equals 1/3. Do we know r? No, r squared times, do we know the height? Yeah, it's 8. I'm going to show you 2 ways to solve this. Okay, the first way I'm going to show you is what we're going to do is we want r squared by itself. But we have all this other stuff happening with r squared. It's being multiplied by 1/3 by pi and 8. So what we can do is we can actually turn 1/3 pi and 8 into one decimal. We can multiply, combine them so that it's not 3 things, it's 1 thing. So 1/3, so in our calculator we're going to type in 1/3 times pi times 8. Okay, now we're going to use our exact values. So I'm going to write down 3 or 4 decimal places. So 8.378 times r squared equals 300. Okay? Ignore the little lines I drew here. There you go. So we typed in the 1/3 times pi times 8. We combine them together. That makes this a lot easier because what would be my next step? Well, what operation is happening between these two? Multiplying. So we always want to do opposite operation. So what's opposite of multiply? Divide both sides by that number. Now, in your calculator, we want to use the exact value. So 300 divided by second negative, our previous answer. 35 point. Yeah, that's why I use second negative. Right. We're writing down a few, but we're actually going to use the exact in our calculator. Okay, so 35.809, I think it is. Oh, 8098 equals r squared. Now what do we have to do? What's the opposite of squaring? Square root both sides to get r by itself. So again, second x squared will give you square root, second negative to put up the previous answer. So you don't have to type it all in. And there's our answer to the nearest meter. 6 meters. Now, for those of you who are algebra junkies, if you plan on taking physics, you should be able to actually rearrange a formula. Okay? So here's how you could rearrange the formula. Yes. Start by doing what? So times both sides by 3 to get rid of the 1/3. That's what I would do too, because that 1/3 is kind of ugly. So 900 equals pi times r squared times 8. Now what? Divide by 8. I don't know what that is. Okay, 112.5. And then divide by pi. So if you plan on taking physics, you should do the algebra way. This way, algebra. Okay, divide by pi. 35 point. Just 1 second, okay? Equals r squared, and then square root both sides. So 6 meters equals r. Okay,